Good day, good day, good day. CRUCIAN Mahogany here, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be watching, unfortunately, a video of a well-respected ex-mayor of Baltimore City. She was doing an interview and was totally disrespected on this interview. We're going to have you watch the video in full. I do have a number of stitches that we're going to watch along with it, and then we'll discuss at the end. Take a look.
Tonight centered around public safety concerns and how to get crime under control. City Councilman Eric Costello and mayoral candidate Sheila Dixon will join us on the panel as part of our Your Voice series. And with a preview of tonight's town hall, Sheila Dixon is joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so what is it that you have been hearing from residents? I know you've been making the rounds around this city, but in terms of their biggest concerns and complaints as it relates to crime, and then what is your message tonight and to them about how we solve it?
So there's three things. One, people don't feel safe. People are afraid. Carjackings, thefts, stealing cars, quality of life. And people want to see the presence of officers in their community, engage with them, walking the beat, talking to them, getting to know the residents, and that's not happening. Give you an example. Yesterday, I saw police officers that were in the area, but they were in their cars out of the cemeteries, not doing what they need to do.
So let me ask you this. Is some of that police saying, you know what, we've heard it repeatedly, police saying it, prosecutors saying our hands are tied, there's not much that we can do. Even if we get out there. There's a lot of feedback there. Are you hearing my question?
Yes.
Is it some of that police are feeling like there's nothing we can do because we can't hold them accountable? We can't enforce laws that say we can't talk to them, we can't do anything. Is that part of it?
But we can hold them accountable. We can do something, and we need to. And our police officers have a responsibility to do things in order to assist. And we've got to do that. We have to step up. We have to try to live in different communities in our neighborhood, so that we can get involved and engage. So tonight we're going to be hearing from residents. We're going to be talking to them.
All right, and we hear that you're fighting through this city going around. We're going to let you conserve your voice, and we'll see you tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Feel better.
Thank you.
Fox 25 is hosting.
Ladies, don't ever get with a man that doesn't have anything to lose, because he will humiliate you all the way from the top of the mountain to up under his foot. And then he'll step on your back and catapult himself off of your back. Now, case in point, Sheila Dixon. This beautiful woman is 69 years old. She was the mayor of Baltimore. Let me tell you how she ended up losing her mayoralship of the city of when she was with Baltimore, the mayor there. She was with some man. Now, I don't know what the relationship was, but it was a man of color. And he got angry with her for one reason or another. Now, as the story goes, I was not a journalist there at the time. But as the story goes, several years ago, she had received some gift cards from a benefactor. And those gift cards were for low-income folks to be able to get things for their children. She had two employees that made less than $20,000 a year. And she took two of those gift cards and used them on those employees, or gave them to those employees. And guess what? She ended up, the brother told it on her, and she ended up getting found guilty, indicted, and almost went to prison over it, and ended up not being the mayor anymore. So let's fast forward to now she's running for mayor again. She is on live television last week doing an interview trying to say black men's lies and police brutality. And guess what happens? A black man brutalizes her. Now, you can hear that she's already hoarse in this video, probably from yelling with, or she could have just been sick. But instead of him trying to protect and take care of her, you can see this is what he did to her. So that just goes without saying, don't ever get with a man that has less to lose than you. in regards to the story about Sheila Dixon, who was a former mayor, a Baltimore mayor. And if you guys will hit the comment, it'll take you to the video that I did about her. This is a black woman who's 69 years old, and she was doing an interview with a television station, and she's running for mayor again. And some male in her home started throwing clothes at her and yelling at her during an interview with the television station. Like, this is what I'm saying, that a man that has nothing to lose will humiliate you and try to take you out. So the question was that her son? No, she has one daughter. She's got one daughter who is actually very supportive and helps with her campaign. So no, it was not like a mentally ill son or an adult son. She is divorced. And so it's more likely that this may have been a male that she was involved with. It was an early morning interview, so needless to say, it's looking more like it was a male companion, lover, friend. Hopefully ex.
So I was scrolling TikTok, came across this story, very triggering, very relative. I was on this creator's page, Tina. So just to give a shout out to her, because I wasn't able to stitch the story from her page. However, I did screen record, and I got a snippet, because it's a long video. I got a snippet that clearly shows that this woman is being abused. Now, this is all alleged because I am not a journalist. I do not have facts. I am not a reporter. I'm just a person on TikTok telling a story based on my observation. Now, if you look at the whole video, he's throwing things at her. And in the snippet that I caught, what I think I hear him saying is, "You're saying I'm abusive." Now, I don't know the dynamics of their relationships. I mean, you have to disclaim and preference so much stuff, because you just have to be careful what you say, and especially about people that you don't know. So I don't know the dynamics of their relationship. I know that I have been in this very situation, almost exact. The difference is I was not on camera, excuse me, and I was not married to the person, but I was in an abusive relationship. Give me one sec. Goodness. I was in an abusive relationship, and that person, and as a result, I too displayed very abusive characteristics and behaviors because of my own traumas. I will not fully blame that person for everything that happened in the relationship, but I was being abused. When it gets to this point where she is on camera with the local news station, and you feel it is okay to be throwing things at her and to be screaming at her while she is just trying to conduct an interview, it is at the worst level that it could be. Next steps are, like, we don't even want to say. Could be fatal. Because there's no F's to give at this point on his part. Regardless to what the exchange was before she went on camera, once she goes on camera, have some restraint, have some emotional maturity, pull back, finish the conversation once she's off. You can't even restrain yourself, and you would go so far as to embarrass her, to disrespect her, and to completely expose whatever is going on in that marriage. Clearly she's gonna she's a mayor. She was a mayor. She's going to have to come out and say something. And, who knows? I don't know how long they've been together. I don't know their backstory. She may continue with him, but she is in an abusive relationship. Because I can identify what is happening in that moment. My story is that I was training for a very big position, and I said something about dishes because I had to take a lunch break, and I was like, there were dishes in the sink when I spent the whole day before slaving, cleaning the whole apartment, and it just set him off. It set him off. And maybe my approach was harsh, aggressive, I don't know, but whatever it is, the next thing you know, we were fighting. And I was literally on a half an hour lunch break, okay? And I don't even know how many people I've actually shared this story with, because I don't think I've told everyone all the details of why the relationship ended, because it ended. It ended not too long after that. What it showed me is that the levels that I was going to next in life, he could not go with me. I felt maybe he was jealous of me. I don't know. I'm just saying what I thought that he was jealous, and a big saboteur, if that's how you say that. This man is sabotaging her. He is jealous of her. He does not care about her success and her being able to self-actualize and accomplish the things that she wants in life, because he is willing to embarrass her in front of possibly, let's just say, hundreds of thousands of viewers. There's also something to be said about the fact that the reporter, as a woman, never stopped and was like, listen, are you okay? Are you okay in this moment? Yeah, there's something strange about that. I get trying to maintain a level of professionalism, but how are you interviewing someone that's clearly being beat in the moment, or hit, or screamed at, or any of those things? Like, how are you acting like that's normal? So hopefully Miss Dixon is okay. Hopefully she comes out and she says something, but clearly there is an issue. There is a problem, and there is definitely abuse going on.
Okay, you guys are gonna believe this. This is Sheila Dixon. She's a former mayor of Baltimore. She is caught on live TV being abused by some man. Nobody knows who the man is. And she was asked about this incident, and she says something like, people are in pain, it's the holidays, and people handle stress differently. But she's okay. No, ma'am. You're not okay. If this man's willing to do this while you're on live television, I can't imagine what he's doing when the camera is off. You're not okay.
We have already been in Sassy Man Apocalypse, right? So we already know the bar has been in hell. But for you to normalize domestic abuse on live TV, how can you watch a woman getting domestically abused and you kept asking questions? Your thought process wasn't, Sheila, are you okay? Your thought process wasn't, Sheila, do you want somebody to go over there? Your thought process was to keep asking that woman more questions when you seen what she was dealing with. The way that y'all have normalized domestic violence is insane. I was even out one day by myself, just grocery shopping. And when I walked out in the parking lot, there was a man literally beating a woman like she was just a rag doll. And there were grown men everywhere. Immediately, I didn't even think about what he would do to me. I dropped my stuff and I ran over there. Like, I'm not scared of you. You fucking with somebody that's scared of you. Come fuck with somebody who ain't. I could never normalize this shit the way y'all do. That was hard for me to watch her go through, especially on live TV. And she didn't have no help.
This is the only update I've been able to find, and apparently Miss Dixon has said everything is okay, people are in pain, it's the holiday, people are stressed, you know, we have challenges in the family, in your partnership and relationships, and sometimes people don't know how to express their stress, so I'm fine. I'm like really trying to keep my fucking cool, but this is not fucking cool. And at the end of the article, it says that the author of the article checked with local police, and they said that there had been no calls to Miss Dixon's address in the past year. And it's really hitting home for me in a certain way, how she says that it's the holidays, families are stressed, they don't know how to express them being stressed. And not to go into too much detail, there's issues going on in my family right now where somebody is overstepping people's boundaries, and when we express our feelings about that and try to set our boundaries, that person just acts like they didn't do anything or brushes everything under the rug. And granted, thank God nobody is meeting physical violence in this situation in my family. It was really jarring to see somebody go through interpersonal violence like that on live television, and the anchor said nothing. The news channel that was airing it said nothing, did nothing. And I'm just sick and tired of people in this fucking country shoving shit under the rug and expecting all the problems and bullshit to just go away. It's not going to. You can fucking ignore it all you fucking want. It's not gonna go away. People aren't gonna stop being harmed. People aren't gonna stop suffering just because you don't want to address it. Genuinely, if y'all aren't fucking angry at this world and this country and who the fuck is running this shit, you're not fucking paying attention. Or you are paying attention and you just don't care about anything that doesn't have to do with you. And that's the sad part about it, is it all has to do with us. It all affects us in some way, shape, or form. Pay the fuck attention.
Not happening. Give you an example. Yesterday.
Did you all see this? So while doing an interview about police violence, she is experiencing domestic violence, like in real time. This man, whoever he is, her boyfriend or her husband, I'm hearing boyfriend, can't even wait until she is off the air to physically abuse her. She is literally talking about people feeling safe while being unsafe in her home in real time. It just speaks to how it can be any woman, any age, any position. This is Sheila Dixon, the former mayor of Baltimore. And I don't know if you saw the statement that she put out about this, but that in conjunction with the way she was handling what was going on with her in that moment leads me to believe that she has been experiencing this kind of abuse from her partner for a very long time now. She looks a little older than I am, and I'll be 53 next month. And when I tell you at 53, the list of things that I'm just not going to put up with is some fool. The statement that she put out, she wasn't even holding him a little bit accountable for his behavior. I grew up around a lot of domestic abusive men. My mother had a lot of brothers, and almost every single one of them abused their girlfriends, wives, partners, because they watched their father abuse their mother, my grandmother. When I tell you I have seen some shit play out before my eyes, I have seen some things play out. I want to be very careful in not blaming the victim because men are responsible for their behavior. But baby, when I tell you my uncles were walking red flags, they were walking red flags. And just like I saw the violence that they committed against their female partners, I saw those women ignore those red flags. There would be times when I would try to talk to a lot of them. And I would tell them, even before they really got to know them, sometimes they would come over to my grandmother's house with a girlfriend. They'd sit down. I'd maybe be sitting there doing my homework. And I would literally say things to them. Like, yeah, you should leave. You should take your friend and you should go. Yeah, he's a borderline psychopath. You should leave. And they completely ignored that. Some of them would laugh it off. My uncles would come into the room and be like, what'd she just say? What'd she say? Ignore her. Then a few weeks later, you would see that very pretty girl with the black eye, a fat lip, a broken arm. Just some shit like that. Eventually, she'd be broken along with her self-esteem, and they wouldn't even be able to look me in my eye because I told them, leave. I can honestly look at you and say that one of the things that I've never dealt with in my life was an abusive partner. I've never had an abusive partner. And maybe it's because having grown up with all those uncles, I know the type. Maybe it's my good sense of discernment Maybe it's the fact that I listen to my gut. Maybe it's the fact that I know these types when I see them. I don't know, but I've just have always steered clear of those types. And again, this is not me saying that it is the victim's fault, because men are entirely responsible for their lack of emotional intelligence, not being able to control their violent tendencies, not being better men, being violent and dangerous. They are in charge of all of that. All of that is their responsibility. No one's responsibility except for theirs. But we do have to start having conversations about women, some, not all women, who ignore red flags. The red flags will be there. They will be bright red, glowing, even screaming. And a lot of women will ignore those red flags. If he talking to you crazy, it'll only be a matter of time before he's putting his hands on you. If he can't respect your time, if he can't respect you, if he can't respect your kids, your family, you need to be steering clear of these types of men. They are not worth what they will eventually put you through. And they can't put you through nothing if you don't allow them to access you. And again, I'm not talking about every single domestic violence situation. I'm only talking about those women who confuse that shit with love and care and don't listen and ignore the signs and won't protect themselves and won't guard themselves and won't listen to their families and their friends. I'm talking to that certain sector of domestic violence victims that don't love themselves enough to walk away. That's why you always got to love yourself more, so that you can always walk away. She too old to be dealing with that. She too smart to be dealing with that. She's got too much going for her to be dealing with that. This is another smart, intelligent, beautiful black woman letting a bum drag her down and keep her from reaching her full potential. She was the mayor of Baltimore. Now think if she got rid of him, where she would probably be right now. That's all I'm saying.
Just on the weekend to get involved.
Yo, this really made me sad. I mean, this is what he's doing on live TV. Can you imagine what he's doing behind the scenes? At first, I'm like, does she normally sound like that? So I actually went to go look at her old videos, and she has such a beautiful voice. And she's hoarse as she's talking on live TV. Makes me wonder how much yelling was going on. And he can't say he didn't know she was going to be on live TV. He can't say that. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure after she was probably like, look, I got to take this live TV call. We can get back to this argument later. And the fact he still didn't care. And he humiliated a former mayor on national TV who's sitting down here trying to make sure that there's safety on the streets. He's throwing clothes at her. He's hitting her. It was very triggering. And this is what we're seeing on live TV. What is going on behind the scenes? And we see another thing of her where she says, oh, some people just don't know how to handle their stress. Stop gaslighting yourself to accepting abuse. I understand. There's a stigma when people are hit that you feel shame. You feel embarrassment, okay? Because I'm pretty sure she channeled woman empowerment. I don't take nothing from no man, and I wish I would. I'm pretty sure it's like because
Let's be honest, for you to become a mayor as a woman, oh my God, the stuff that you have to go through, I know that's not easy. I know you just, you have to have tough skin. And I know she did a lot of stuff to be able to get there. And just because when you fall in love with the low-hanging fruit, yeah, I said it, low-hanging fruit, you do not allow the low-hanging fruit to destroy you. I know she's not going to leave this man, because when it comes to DV, it's like an addiction. Okay, your family and your friends and your fans or people who believe in you can do everything they can to try to talk you out of it. But if you're not ready to leave the man that's beating your butt, there is nothing anyone can tell you. There's no PowerPoint we can show you. There is no, examples we can show you, because you are in there and you have created a world in your mind. And basically what normally happens, like the best way I could explain it is, I watched a documentary about a circus, and it's about the people who train elephants. How big are elephants? In the real world, when we go into a forest or wherever they are, I forget where they are. I'm from Nigeria, I should know. We do have them up north. But when you do go into the wild and you see an elephant, do you think you could crack a whip on an elephant? Or do you think that elephant will beat your ass into a different multiverse? Okay? But when you get it as a baby, you break it, you break it. You break it real good. And you put big chains on it every day, and that elephant feels it can't move. And every day you take the big chains and you make the chains smaller. You make the next chain smaller. You make the next chain smaller. And this whole time, that elephant still thinks you have this big chain on it, until one day you just take that chain off. And guess what? That elephant never goes anywhere, because you've broken it. And it's going to take a lot for that elephant to realize how strong and what a powerful, magnificent animal it is. So whenever people get into domestic violence like that, I need you to understand they showed up as the most powerful, the most beautiful, the most everything. And it takes an evil beast to break them down and turn them into circus animals. Run. Jump, cook, sleep with me, do this, do that. But when you are in your best mind, nobody can talk to you like that. Nobody could talk to you like that. But he took time and he was throwing stuff at her, hurting her, on national TV. And she's going to protect him. No, she's not going to leave. She's not going to leave. I know she's a strong, independent. She's not going to leave. She's not going to leave until she is ready to leave. According to a lot of women, a good man is hard to find. You're just jealous because you don't have any man. Oh, okay, well, all right. Oh, we can tell you, Miss Sheila Dixon, you are on limited time when you're in a domestic violent relationship. You are on limited time, more limited than others in non-domestic violent relationship. So the best thing you could do, he's already publicly humiliated you. You're already embarrassed. You're trying to save face. It's okay. No one is here to judge you. I'm not here to judge you. Best thing you could do, if you ever see this video, I don't think you will, but if you ever do, start figuring out a way for you to leave. And you know what? File a police report on that man. I mean, it's public record. I mean, it's public. I mean, what do you do what you need to do to leave. And don't ever let a man play in your face like that, because we're not about to sit down here and explain why a man, no, don't ever let a man play in your face like that. Have a Merry Christmas.
Fox 45 Morning News. There was an incident during your interview. I wanted to make sure if everything was okay with you and if you could respond.
Yeah, no, everything is okay. I'm human. People are in pain. This is a holiday. People are stressed. We have challenges in your family, in your partnership, in your relationships. And sometimes people don't know how to express their stress. So I'm fine.
Okay, just want to make sure you're good.
I'm good.
Everyone's good. Okay, great.
This video really touched me because the irony of the situation is that Sheila Dixon was talking about getting help for abuse, and it goes unchecked in our society outside. At the same time, she was going through it in real time on live TV in her own home, the place that you should feel the safest. That lady was afraid. You could see the fear in her eyes. The interviewer, isn't it ironic that she said, "We see you're fighting"? She just went through the interview like nothing was wrong, but she knew subconsciously she was disrespected in her home. Her voice sounds like someone who allegedly, it sounds like someone who's dealt with choking. This video is not to shame her. It is to bring awareness that sometimes you're the one going through situations like this, and you have to take embarrassment from someone who quote unquote say they love you. And this is a well-respected woman, a woman who we would consider an elder. She's someone who is fighting for the rights of others outside of her home, while within her home she's suffering from abuse and protecting her abuser. We don't know who that person was in the background, but that person wanted us to know that he had no respect for her at all. I hope that she makes the decision to safely exit that relationship. Please tell me what you think about this in the comments below. Share the video, like the video. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Laters.